Hey, what's up, guys and gals? Troy, TXRC Productions here, 3DR Solo Owners and Productions Group. Here we go. We're going to try to do a somewhat quick final look and review at the complete Copter system with gimbal, with GoPro Hero 4 Black. I'm running a 4.35mm lens. Now, I say all of this because I want to talk about it as a system. I've already stated that the Copter itself is pretty top-notch. It is definitely the best Copter on the market, hands down. People can argue with that. It's fine. As far as quality of products that goes into the Copter, as far as the way that the Copter is built, the modularity of it, the design, overall, it's a solid flying Copter. I'd much rather fly this Copter than any other Copter I've flown. The system, though, with the gimbal and everything, and we're not going to talk about launch, and we're not going to talk about delays, and we're not going to talk about them shipping out of order. That doesn't affect what this is. So I want to make sure that that's clear, that my frustrations with any of that has nothing to do with my analysis of the Copter itself and the system. Now, the system was meant to be consumer as well as professional driven. This is supposed to be a Copter and a system with a gimbal and camera system, which is a GoPro Hero 4, that could be used in many, many different situations as far as out the box, fly it and have fun as a consumer. That consumer is not going to care a care in the world about the lens on the GoPro. However, everyone else knows that anytime you throw a GoPro into a drone for use for cinematic or commercial work, it kind of defeats the purpose, because we all know that the GoPro, though it's a great little camera for what it does, its capabilities are limited. Now, we all knew that going in. However, that's why we all decided that we were probably going to be doing modded GoPros, like 4.35 lenses, which allows your focal point to be focused down much tighter. You get a tighter zoom, more clarity and more detail at closer ranges, and your field of view is tightened up and no fisheye. This adds a lot of good stuff for cinematic work. No defisheye, which leads to less resolution. Better resolution because of the lower focal point. More zoomed in. You're able to kind of get a better range back away from the full structure. If you're filming on structures and stuff, you get really nice distances but good focal point. That being said, reducing focal point makes vibration worse. The gimbal actually handles the vibration on the 4.35. I'll be honest, I haven't ran it on a regular GoPro yet. Haven't had the time or really the care, just because of how lackluster I'm kind of feeling about the unit. I have some FPV stuff I've been doing, kind of biding my time, but as far as the gimbal itself and the install, we're not going to really get into that either. But look, because you have to install it yourself, you have to be careful about a lot of stuff, and you have to make sure it's routed right and all that. That being said, once I got it in there right and everything, it works to about 90% of what I would expect it to. It stabilizes and all that. I am having issues, though. I've lost connection to the radio and come back, and the paddles don't work on the gimbal. I've had to land and shut everything down. It hasn't aligned 100%. It's still not 100% aligned with the face of the Copter. You apparently have to start this thing up facing north. It doesn't like south, which, I mean, I can't. I'm just putting it out there that these are things that you have to, worry about. But even all of that, the Copter is still great, and the system is still great. And when I look at the videos that I shoot and everything that I'm doing, I'm excited about what I'm doing. The problem comes in where I want to not push the limits of what I should be able to do with a Copter of this value and of this notoriety of what it's supposed to be able to accomplish. But my overall comfortability of flying solo, I'm not 100% comfortable with it still after 5-6 months. I mean, flying the Copter itself, just flying it, I'm comfortable. It will come back to me. I know it will. This thing is not going to fly away. That's not my worry. My worry comes into, again, the glitching here, the connectivity not being strong enough and not being able to handle. I was trying to do an orbit shot of a flag at like 600-700 feet, and every time it got to about 900 feet, it RTH'd. And guess what? It's a tall flag, and so I had to worry about my RTH setting, it dripping into the flag. And, so we had to set it really high, and so you have to know the heights, and you have to really, it's just so much that you have to worry about just about keeping the Copter safe in case it loses connectivity. being able to fly under trees and canopies and in between structures and stuff that if it loses GPS, it might trip out and bounce out. Well, if it's under a tree, it's going to kill itself. So just that overall factor of it's just not 100% comfortable in flying in all the situations that I would want to use this tool to do. I mean, I literally find myself almost every flight saying, I wish I could go film that, but I don't really feel 100% comfortable in it getting there, doing the shot, getting back, and nothing possibly going wrong. And obviously, as a pilot, that's what we have to think about is kind of all the ifs and ands. So, really, at the end of the day, the gimbal itself, again, it works, it stabilizes, it's great. Especially, I give it props for being able to stabilize a 4.35 as well as it does. Um, I'm not comfortable in its long-term viability though. The motors are very small. It still does get some yaw, some weak yaw motor moments where it needs to catch up. Same thing with the Horizon every once in a while. And that all being said, I've only flown this thing in slow mode with the gimbal. I haven't even attempted to shoot high or medium speed shots because every time that I even get to the full tilt speed of slow, vibrations occur. And again, I'll chalk that up to the 4.35 a little bit. That's fine. But knowing everything together that this is supposed to be a cinematic tool, it should be able to handle. I think they should have thought a little further deeper into the tighter framing and more cinematic framing and how the vibrations would occur or affect it. Um, you're looking at the DJI Copters and their cameras, the Inspire and the P3. That's what you're paying for is that amazing camera setup that they have. And unfortunately, we all knew that the limitations of the GoPro, but we thought we could kind of keep up with it with the gimbal. I don't know. Long-term kind of results will have to kind of show that. A few things that I have not tried yet, but I really don't feel like I should have to, are dampening balls, which I do plan on before kind of making a final decision on this whole chapter and project. Do we change out dampening balls and kind of check it for the 4.35? It definitely could help. I've even has gone as far as to think that it's possible to pull the gimbal down out of the bay and stick it to the bottom side of the bay. Just something I'm looking at, just kind of trying to figure out if it would be feasible to kind of give it a little more room and a little space with those cables, because the cables are causing a bulk of the problem. The vibrations from the cables just can't be good. Those cables are stiff and they're pushing up against the shell and all kinds of stuff. So, it's adding to the vibrations for sure. Just all kinds of things that together just make it for kind of a frustrating package to be dealing with. Having said, if I could get the thing connectivity wise to give me a good mile to where I have, a little better confidence in its range, even at 500 feet, that it's not going to just trip out on me. If I could get a little density into that, equation, being able to fly in some canopies and under some trees and around and back by, I think it would kind of help with the overall comfortability of flying. Keep it up close and personal, and it's going to do its job. It's going to do orbit, it's going to do cable cam, it's going to do selfie, and bigger than that is it's fun as hell to fly, and it's easy to fly without the cable cam and without the orbit. I've gotten some amazingly long, just clean, soft, slow shots just manually flying, and I'm just kind of in awe as I fly it that it's just so stable and smooth and clean. The performance sliders just allow this thing to become whatever it is that you want. What it's going to end up being is, can you capture that in the format that you want it captured? So, limited by the GoPro. The GoPro issues, as far as they originally stated, some functionalities for the 3 Plus, and though the 3 was never really stated, people thought the 3 and the 3 Plus would work. Having issues with that, and apparently the 3 Plus Silver will never be supported, just so you guys know. Another kind of downfall of getting into this early was people thought the 3 Plus Silver and the 3 Plus Black would work fully, because it said optimized for 3 Plus and 4, but apparently it's 3 Plus Black or 4. So just be on the lookout for that. It's up to you guys how you're going to spend your money. I do think over time this thing's going to work out. I just think that it might be something to wait till first quarter 2016 before they kind of work everything out, to get you a full package together that is going to work. I have heard rumors October 3rd, a new rollout for firmware and update, which is supposed to fix some of the gimbal issues. The only problem is you can't fix the small motors with a firmware update. What you can do is you can kind of make them work harder, and over time they're going to fail a lot faster. I don't know how I feel about that. So again, it's just another question you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to wait till October 3rd to get it, back up and running? And is October 3rd outside your 30-day money-back guarantee window? For me, it's really, really close. It makes me wonder why they picked October 3rd and not this week. But I can't answer that question. So if anybody wants to answer that question, you know where to find me. So that's how we go. The 3DR Solo main package review. Great copter, great package. You want up close and personal, it'll fly. It'll do whatever you want it to do, and it's going to be a blast to do it. Is it for the cinematographer trying to get, that dollar bills count every minute? Nope. Don't do it. Get yourself something else. P3, unique, Inspire, really. I mean, at this point, you might as well just drop the extra couple $100 and go with the Inspire. In fact, I would say wait till first quarter, and I bet you see some Inspire packages drop in price as some new stuff rolls out. But I'm not saying go fly DJI only. I'm just saying fly safe, fly smart, fly whatever.